Mandukya Upanishad.
Bhadram karnebhih shrunuyam deva bhadram pashyema kshabhiryajatra sthirairangaistushtuvansasthanubhih vyashema devahitam yadayuh swasti na indro vruddhashravaः swasti na pusha vishvavedaः swasti nastarksho arishtनेमिः swasti no bruhaspatirdadatu om shanti shanti shanti.
Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad is such a shorter Upanishad, just 12 sloka, and that addresses our life so directly. The thing at a nominal level that attracted me is that Upanishad is applicable to every single being. We may have different profession, we may have different social statuses, but still, whether it is newly born or otherwise, or howsoever old one may be, but it applies to every one of us. And it covers the entire span of life. And the thing that I felt it to be so beautiful, that just in 3 words, it is narrating about complete life. No historian or bibliographer can attempt to do this, but our great master did that. We did cover that, but just to give you a brief overview, that these 3 words describes our 3 states. Number 1, awake state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Now just understand, from the time we are born until we die, is there anything which may not be covered in these 3 words? Awake state, during which whatever we do, and if we are not awake, we may be dreaming. And even in dreaming, we may not be dreaming, but that we may be fast asleep. Snoring, not snoring even, but fast asleep. In other words, you are neither awake nor you are dreaming. But then what is it, the commonality between these 3 stages? What is so common, so exclusively, no matter which state we are in, but we are we? What is I am? Who I am? Instead of who I am, I'm saying what I am. Understand the word. So when we are awake, everything that we experience in this world is solely related to oneself. And I'm using the word yourself. Or nobody else is experiencing everything what you experience. And the same way, the same being will be experiencing dream state. He or she will be dreaming. And anything that you dream is pertaining to the dreamer is you. Awakener or awaker is you. Dreamer is you. And the deep sleeper, if I may use the word, is also you. Because we never ask ourselves that when we were dreaming and when we wake up, did we ever ask that, is it the same person who was few minutes ago dreaming and now I'm awake and I'm seeing a different world? But yes, you yourself now can witness this, that it is the same person. And it is also the same person when you were fast asleep. In the fast asleep, you had absolutely no activity to be done, but you were potentially either to come to awake state or to come to dream state. So it is still the same. So in all these three stages, what is it that is common? And for that, let me just take a slide. This one is showing who am I, who knows this? Waker, dreamer, and sleeper. These are the three stages. But then whatever is common to it, it is you. And that in this Upanishad, our rishis is calling it with the word Turiya. Turiya literally means the fourth one. But there is no name to the fourth one. Here is waker, dreamer, and sleeper. So what is that fourth state? And the fourth state is a little harder to understand. We have never gone so deep into it and to find out who is the knower, who is the witnesser, if I may use the word. And in all yoga, the word witnesser is so important. Everything try to witness instead of acting into it or as an actor. Witness, witness, witness. When you do not react to it, then you are witnessing it. So as soon as you do something or you are doing something, just back off a little bit. And if you say drinking water, then you ask yourself, who is drinking? You go and drive, then you ask yourself, who is driver? Is your body driver? And if your body is driver, then body need to drive even when you die. And the similar thing applies to dreamer and sleeper state. The example here, let me take this one, that you take 3 ornaments, necklace, bangles, and ring, that we have taken earlier, but still it is so pertaining, we have to understand. Now, the necklace is worn around the neck, bangles are worn around the wrist, and rings are worn onto the fingers. But what is common in all? Common in all is gold. Like in our case, common was I, capital I, the consciousness, spirit, whatever word you use. As soon as that part is taken out, nothing remains. So this nothing remain concept, nothing remain concept is very hard to understand. Whereby, let's take the example of the necklace. You are wearing the necklace, and we so much love necklace, we love the beauty, we love to show to the other people, and you feel proud of it. But do we ever think beyond the shape of the necklace? If there would not have been gold, what will happen? So I can come to you and I said, oh, I love your necklace. And you say, no, I'm not going to give it to anybody. And a person like me smartly says, okay, you keep the necklace, but let me have the gold. And at that time, your eyes will open and say, what is he talking about? But a wise man all the time thinks, necklace is necklace. It may be a bangle, it may be a ring. But all the 3 exist only because of gold. And as soon as the gold is taken out, would there be a necklace? Ask yourself. And this is not an ordinary question, mind you. This is the sole fulcrum of this entire Upanishad. So to say, if you take the gold out of it, then you will say, oh, the shape will remain, okay. Then tell me, what is necklace? I took the gold out. And the same way, out of the awakened state, dream state, and deep sleep state, you take so-called gold out. And then you ask yourself, who can be awake? Who can be a dreamer? Or who can be a deep sleeper? We are spending our entire life being busy, busy, busy. And even the spiritual people, so-called spiritual seekers, they also keep reading books and books and books and books. And they even memorize the entire Upanishad. But who memorizes? Who knows this? But the sole purpose of our life, if I may say so, sole purpose of our life is to realize, not study, realize who or what is that gold in us, without which we are nothing. And nothing to the degree that when you take the gold out of your necklace, what remains? When you take the gold out of your bangles, what remains? When you take the gold out of your ring, what remains? And still, each one of those three stages, necklace, bangles, and ring, it has gold in it. Each one of those three stages, awakened state, dream state, and deep sleep state. And there is no fourth state to it. But each one of those three stages are stages only if Turiya, something like gold, remains. And what is it? So now, let me take this little example. I have a container, okay? And in this container, I am dropping a coin. Now, if I ask you, where is the coin? Can somebody, Sunil or so, can answer this? Where is the coin?
In the container.
In the container. So now, likewise, if I ask you the question, where is gold in the chain? Sorry, where is the gold now? You don't think too much, just answer it. Where is
It's in the chain.
In the chain, that's right. Now here, I have the container in my hand. Understand? Now, once when I took the coin out of it, I still have the container, right?
Yes.
And Sunil, you say that the gold is in the chain. Now you remove the gold and let me have the chain. All of us, please think. This is the example with which I thought I can bring this point to you. So the external object, tangible object, you and I, we could feel it. But this example of chain is a very illustrative example. You take the gold out, I took the coin out and the box remained. But if I take the gold out, what remains? Or if I take out the gold out of bangles?
Nothing.
Yeah, how simply you said nothing. And exactly on a parallel line. Understand that when you take the, I cannot even use the word bonding factor, or something with which you are what you are. Let me word it like this. So something, even I cannot say thing, but pardon me for the time being, lack of language. So it was gold with which the chain or the necklace was necklace. So what is in place of gold that we have, with which you could be awakened person, it could be dreamer or deep sleeper. Are you with me on this?
Yes. You don't need anything else. You don't have anything else because gold is the essence. That's part and parcel of everything, of all the states.
Beautiful. So, in other words, is it fair for me to say that that element, if I may call it, is it time dependent? That
No.
when, very good. It is not time dependent, meaning you cannot say that that element was with me while I was awake. It was with me while I was deep sleep or so. It is there. So it is so important to understand. And as a result, that one is called reality. In Upanishadic and spiritual language, something which is not dependent on time or space, it is called real or reality. This container is not real, but you may say, oh, no, you are holding it. Again, understand the word in Upanishadic language, in spiritual language. Reality is only that which is independent of time and space. Please understand. That part also we have studied in past, but I'm just covering this portion so that you know what each is and why this Upanishad, only 24 lines, it should have been the easiest to understand, but it is the most difficult thing to understand. And I wouldn't say it is most difficult thing to understand, but it is most difficult to realize. Studying is one thing, memorizing is one thing, and realizing, and this is the sole purpose of every human being. You can follow any other organized religion, any other school of thoughts. You may think that you are doing meditation, may think, but then you ask yourself, for what? And why even to realize the goal? Why even to realize the Chaitanya or Brahman or Atman, whatever word you use? Why? Because that is eternal. It is forever. And something that is forever and it is non-changing. You can imagine ourselves, our mind undergo. A moment we are happy, next moment we are not. We may be miserable. We all are sitting in the house now, and COVID is make somebody miserable and somebody happy. So it is undergoing changes. But this one is unchangeable. There are several qualities that we will be studying, but for the time being, try to have the relationship between eternal, permanent, something which is beyond time and beyond space. And when I say, okay, we at least we understood what is beyond time. But then what is beyond space? No matter where you are, Chaitanya or Atman is always there. So now, coming to the second point, we were looking at the container and we could identify the container. So you can say the consciousness of the spirit is in this container. And if it is, find out where is it. It is just this manifestation with which it appears that consciousness or the Atman has this body. And we will learn it and we will explain it in a minute. So just bear with me. Now, the experiencer, that is during the awake state, the Atman, or the consciousness, takes the form of awake state, this body. So in other words, gold is taking the shape to become a necklace. Then only you could see that, oh, this is beautiful necklace. But we folks get carried away and we just look at the glitter and the beauty. So we are more so recognizing the shape than the gold itself. So over here, this 3 stages that we talked about: awakened state, dream state, deep sleep state. And the 4th one is not really a state, but it is because of which all the 3 states exist. The necklace, bangles, and ring are these 3 forms, and they are there because gold is there. So only because of the gold. And what really happens is you can melt the necklace and make the bangle out of it, but still it is gold. It is in and out gold. And what I meant by in and out gold, because if you touch the bangle from outside, you are touching the gold. You are touching it from inside, you are touching the gold. And to a jeweler or a businessman, this shape does not matter. It will just say how much it weighs. So truly, once when you are realized and your awareness, excuse me, your awareness is always on Atman, and you are aware of that permanent element. That doesn't mean you will not see the bangles or the chain and the beauty of it, but your awareness will be geared towards gold. Over here in our cell, you carry out your entire daily life, or when I say daily life, yes, the entire life. Do whatever you are doing it. But while doing it, if your awareness is with that eternal element, so the bodily functions will not bother you. It will not bother you that I have a headache today and I'm hungry today. That doesn't mean you will not be eating. From the body purpose point of view, you will be carrying out. But your awareness, realized person, that also doesn't mean that the realized person will not be sleeping. He may well be sleeping, but in the sleep, he will be alert and awake and aware of who he or she is. So beautiful to understand. So this is human body so far, and we just barely touch upon the subject of awareness and the 4 stages, really speaking, 3 stages. And the 4th one is Turiya, the Atman. And the reason we are not saying state, because container I can easily identify, but the true gold in all of us, Atman, cannot be realized because it is, and what it is, that part will come with a couple of adjectives with which you will come to know that that can never be realized. Ageya, unknowable. And I will try also to give you certain hint on meditation so that we can proceed with our spiritual journey. I'm not only interested in just learning Upanishad, but how Upanishad could be used in our day-to-day life. So whatever we were doing so far, you be the judge of what you need to do. And now, what that has to do with Om. There's 3 or 4 stages, and the 4th one, Turiya. What is that Turiya to do with Om? Because we were told that Mandukya Upanishad talks all about Om. So immediately our common thinking will come in and say, Swamiji will tell us how to chant Om. Which raga, which theme, which meter to use, loud or silent. No. Understand why Om in the first place. And if you see Om, let me just bring in a slide or two. We did look at the gold and this, but now okay, here we use the word Atman, awake, dream, and deep sleep state. Now, talk about the Om. The letters are A, U, and Ma. I will not say A, okay? Because A can be sounded short sound A and long sound A, but no, it is A. But people said, no, it's not A and U, it is O-M, Om. Yes, you can say so, but mind you, this is not English, this is Sanskrit. And in Sanskrit, when A and U, they are following each other, and you try also to pronounce so it will sound like O. Because of the rules of grammar, A and U becomes O. So you can say O-M or you can say A-U-M, whichever way. But now understand, before even you start saying was there any sound? And where does comes from? It comes from silence. Where does U come from? Silent. And where does Ma comes from and ends into? Silence. So it is like gold. You have a bar of gold, and to which when you will give the shape of the necklace, it becomes necklace. You give the shape of bangle, it becomes bangle. And when you give the shape of ring, it becomes ring. But it is gold. So whether you say U, ma, you are really looking into what? Silence. And what is the dimension of silence? Can you ever describe silence? We have heard many times silence is not to talk, but not having anything to talk. Even that does not also describe. So here, if you look at it, the u, and ma, this u, ma, and silence, these are four. Let me get out of this one. So consider the two stages, two separate thinking, u, ma, and the fourth one, silence. Here, awake state, dream state, and deep sleep state, and turiya. Even though we know turiya is not a state, and so is also silence is not a stage, but turiya, the Atman, is in all the three. Silence is in all the three, u, and ma. So here is four, and here is four. So if we can see, is there any comparison to it? And can one represent the other? It is like you drive from here to San Francisco, and then you look at the correct map. Is there any relationship? Yes, of course. Whatever is shown on the map, and if the map is correct, you will find it over there. So you can say you are mapping Om on the four stages, or the three stages. And so now when you map, and when you say awake state to be a, dream state as u, and deep sleep state to be ma. And the turiya, the fourth state, because of which all the three stages happen, here, because of the silence, u, and ma happens. Bear with me as to why we are taking this. Silence is so important. But most of us, we are interested in rushing and finishing something. That means, oh, you want me to chant 108 times? Oh, yes, I can do that. Or I can do 5 rosaries even. But no, here, in day-to-day life, whether awake, dreaming, or deep sleep, idea is to recognize the eternal element, which is Atman. Here, whether you chant chant u, or chant ma, realize the silence. So both are complementing to each other. And that's why you can say why Om has been treated as a holy sign, holy symbol. So here, understand now, the u, and ma, at the time when you are chanting, and the first time, it may be, not first time, couple of months, couple of years, it may be difficult. So you make it into sections and understand that when you are sounding try to visualize your awake state and try to equate your awake state to And after some time, you continue chanting. And at the second time, when you're chanting ooh, try to equate or try to understand what really the dream state is, dreaming state, and how is dreaming state related to you. And deep sleep with makar or the M sound, silence. But then we are not really interested in these three stages. We are interested in the fourth state. Again, I'm saying I'm using the word state, but it's not state. So that fourth central element, which is Turiya, and here the fourth central focus point is silence. So by whichever way, if you can reach to silence, and that silence is silence. It's not to talk, and your mind may be spinning. The silence from physical, subtle, or the causal state, whereby external silence and you don't talk, that is external silence. You see, but you don't see. You hear, but you don't hear. So for initial purposes, let these five sense organs be silent. So you may say, are you sure? How could you be silent with your eyes? Don't see anything and don't let your mind start spinning. And while meditating, do not eat or taste anything. Do not have highly fragrant smell so that can be a food to your nose. Do not have the food to your sense of touch. Initially, to do dharana, that means contemplation, you can have sound or anything else, just to gather your awareness to a point, and thereafter let that point go to. That means no food for the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. That has nothing to do, and please understand, all of you, my dear friends, you do fasting, you do health-related, and you can be doing headstand, or you can be standing on one leg, or you can be visiting some holy places. Now try to understand what is the holy-most point. It's you. And this, once you reach to the state of silence, that the time, even though you have a body, but you do not have a body. Even though you have the chain, but your soul awareness is on gold. Even though you chanted ooh, and ma, om, but your more awareness is on silence. So what during the meditation practice that we follow, in which initially chanting is going on and lasts 5 or 10 minutes, the volume is intentionally reduced and it is fading out. Why? Not because there's no problem, but it is training our mind leading to the state of physical silence, meaning the external sound is not available. There, please understand this. So at home also, or wherever you may be, please pay attention to the causal state. Now, when I say causal state, causal word comes from the word cause, that causes something to exist. That means what? Silence. It is gold that causes chain to exist, bangles to exist, ring to exist. It is Atman, because of which we have the entire span of daily activity, awake state. It is Atman because of which we are dreaming. It is Atman with which we are in a potentially seed form of existence. So as soon as and when you realize it, realize meaning what? You're looking at the chain now, but are you really looking at the chain? No. Chain exists because of the external shape, but your focus, you are looking at the gold. Not only looking, experiencing gold. And in our state, you are in silent zone. The five senses are not working or are resting. I'm not saying break your eyes and nose and ears and whatnot. They're there, but switch off each one of them so that the external physical thing in the form of prapancha, Sanskrit word, pardon me, but that creates your own universe. And what I meant by your own universe, my car, my house, my wife, my body, my job, your universe. As soon as the five senses are taken out, as soon as the mind is in a no-mind state, memory in a no-memory state, then you may be looking at a chain, but you don't know what it is. Because the only thing you see is what? Gold. You may be looking at this human body, you may be looking at a flower, but then what is flower you don't know. You're simply seeing the cosmic beauty. So long ago, and maybe a couple of times, we have heard one example that a child is visiting a zoo with his father, and they were standing in front of a rhino's cage, and the child is asking, Father, what is it? He didn't say, who is it? What is it? And the father says, rhino. Second time he asked, third time he asked, father gets mad. At that time, the child says, Dad, rhino is the name, but what is it? Now, think who is wiser, child or father? We even do not think of that question at all. The body exists. What is this body? Whereby I'm not saying kill yourself tomorrow, understand. The question of spirituality comes because you have body. Utilize the body. fulfill its need, but with awareness. Enjoy the necklace, but realize the necklace exists because of gold. And really speaking, the existence of necklace is nonsense. And when I say nonsense, because I ask Sunil, I say, hey Sunil, I love Bhavna's necklace. You keep the necklace, but let me have the gold. In that case, tell me what is necklace. So at that time, the worthlessness can be realized. And you realize the true beauty of it. And if I may say so, dear friend, we are born, or we have been given this birth only to know the gold, the Atman, realized. And this realization, you're not going to find in churches, in temples, synagogue, or anywhere. And at the same time, do not misunderstand that I'm atheist and I'm guiding you in atheism. No, you go there, but you reach to the stage that whether you go to the temple, it's okay. You don't go to the temple, it's okay. But when you go to the temple, relatively, it will help you to do dharana. But once you have advanced little more with your yogic practice, no matter where you go, you will have your sadhana. You will have your dharana. Now, a lot of people in the form of spirituality, in the form of realization, people are going, and anything and everything is sold in this country. Not this country, in this world. So when you go, and how often you might have also seen, and I have some picture, so that you can have what is called a frequency ball. So they say, oh, you want to meditate? Use this ball. Or this is for your Manipura chakra. This is for your Anahat chakra. If you have money, go and blow it. But the key is, no matter which ball you follow, this frequency exists and the sound wave travels. And keep on following the sound wave until it reaches to relative silence. That part, when it comes, we get up and I says, now Swamiji, I did listen 5 times. What to do next? There's nothing to be done next. And it is also understand, lot of people, they say, do you meditate for half hour? No, I meditate for 1 hour. When you do meditate for 1 hour is a time. And so time is the bondage. Place is the bondage, binding. While silence is freedom. At that time, you can feel the word Akash. Akash is limitlessness. And many times during Yoga Nidra, we are enjoying this word, Akash, limitlessness, mindless mind and bodiless body. Those words we hear, my dear friends, find some time to truly enjoy the silence following those words. Let me share with you that frequency ball slide. You don't need to see it, but anyway. This and various kind of frequency balls comes and go away. But you don't need to have any special dress. You don't need to go to Himalaya. You don't need to stay in caves. You don't need to have fasting for a couple of months or days. If you need to have food to sustain your body, but as soon as you will learn the technique of switching off those five senses of yours, then if you get food, it's okay. If you don't get food, it's okay. Because you are not interested in the beauty of the necklace, you are interested in gold. I don't know what time it is. All right. We are very close to, and this is just the beginning of introduction of Om. And that's why they say if you want to learn anything about Om, go and enjoy Mandukya Upanishad. Just imagine how brilliant those rishis must have been. And again, I will not even call them brilliant. I will just call them true sadhaka. So their focus is, their awareness is nothing but gold, gold, and gold. That is when this divine knowledge that already exists. We all have this knowledge. Because understand, as soon as you stop talking with all the five sense organs, what happens? Activity-lessness. My English, pardon me. Activity-lessness, meaning no activity at all. That means what? Silence. And that's the time you enjoy it. And how often we have heard spirituality is a singular journey. Don't say that my husband, my wife, my children, or my boss does not allow me to do this. Nobody has to allow you. It's only you. As soon as your awareness is focused to gold, to silence, to your Atman. Dear friend, let us hear this Shanti part once more. And after little practice or so, if you will have any questions, I will not be answering today. But if you have questions, feel free to write and we'll talk. I will also study with you. I am no way any other person other than a group member in our Sarthi panel. So allow me to have Shanti Part once more. I am so thankful to all of you for listening this and allowing me to share this. Maybe next Thursday, we'll talk only about the gold, some of the characteristics. We have heard a lot. Sat Chit Ananda. I'll try to learn Ananda.
भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनुभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति